All right, album review time for The Patience by Mick Jenkins. And this thought popped in my head the other day, I was thinking about the album and just how it made me feel. What I felt about the album, how it made me feel, my own kind of interpretation of it. And Christmas. Stocking stuffers. So my wife's family, every Christmas, it seems like, we get pocket knives in our stocking stuffers. They like knives, whatever, great, right? So I've got all these knives. And I'm not a knife person. I don't really care that much, but whatever. It's nice to have a pocket knife. They're useful, they're handy, right? And every now and then, we'll get these stocking stuffers, these pocket knives, and I'll set to the side. I'll put it on my desk for 2-3 months. I won't use it. And then I'll need a knife, and I'll grab it. And I'll go, oh, cool. And I'll grab it, and I'll use it, and I go, oh, pretty nice. And then I'll use it again, and I go, oh. And then I go, I'm gonna just kind of carry this with me and use it. And then slowly over time, over a couple of weeks or so, I go, this is a really nice pocket knife. Like, this is good. So much so, it's kind of like misleading. Like, if you glance at it on the surface, you think, well, okay, yeah, it's just another knife. But no, this is a good knife. That's how I feel about The Patience. You glance at it, it's not a huge name in terms of the artist. The album itself isn't even a half hour long. It's 11 songs. A couple features. Okay, cool. But it's kind of unassuming, right? You don't really get this, oh, wow, nothing's going to blow you away on the surface. But when I listen to it, it's just sharp and it's lean and it does its job very, very well. That's my assessment of The Patience by Mick Jenkins. What do I have for notes? One thing that's been really neat listening to this album, there's wordplay, there's lyrics, there's double meaning, there's all this stuff, right? And it's done really well, really well. I've been getting a lot of messages from people because the album is new, and so we're all kind of hearing it and breaking it down together at the same time. So it's been fun. People sending me messages of saying, hey, this one verse, I kind of heard this, and I started thinking about that, and breaking it down. Like I said something about, who was it? Guapanese, where they're making money, and he's talking about, the ducks in shallow water, or something like they're just chasing the bread. And somebody sent me a message talking about that one. But another neat thing that he does in terms of lyrics is the pronunciation of the word. And so pasta, he's talking about imposters, but the way he kind of slides that word, it sounds like pasta, but it's like lyrically the words have two meaning, but then also the way he speaks it, it's like he's saying two versions of the same word. Imposter, it's kind of neat. And he does that throughout this album. I should have written it down. I didn't. So now I just look kind of dumb. Like I don't have the receipts, right, to show for what I'm talking about. But as you listen to the album, and I remember on the reaction too, there was a couple times I was rereading the lyrics, but the way I was reading the word wasn't the way he was saying it. And so therefore some of the meaning was lost. Pretty fucking cool. Pretty cool. He's not the first person to do that I can recall. I've heard that before, but he's using that pretty consistently in this album as a very effective tool to just add another layer to the wordplay. So it's fucking cool, man. Roy G. Biv, the Color Theory song, right? I mean, I don't know who the hell that person is. I don't even know if it's a real person. If you take the initials, it's RGB. RGB is a color pattern for sensors for electronics. So he's got all this wordplay about colors, but even the fucking title of the song is broken down into some wordplay about colors. Good shit. What else do I have? The Waters. Everyone's talking about, I got to listen to The Waters and check out The Waters. I guess that's his kind of breakout mixtape or his debut mixtape. I want to. I don't know when I will, but I certainly want to. In terms of favorite tracks for this one, Pasta is great. Guapanese is great. Which, by the way, Guapanese is not a combination of the word Guam and Japanese. Got a couple comments on that one. Very funny. Very funny. I love it sometimes when I get it so incredibly wrong. Smoke Break with Jid. Fantastic. I love how Jid sounds on that one. I still don't have a heart next to 2004, although it's good too. Honestly, this whole album, top to bottom, is a great run. Show and Tell with Freddie is great. Sitting Ducks with Benny the Butcher is great. But man, I really do think Guapanese is my favorite track. Pasta and Guapanese, man. Those two are just fantastic songs. Fantastic songs. And then I guess I want to, it's kind of a shorter video, not that great of a review, but I love the effort that Mick is putting into his lyrics, his art, essentially, what he's making. And it was fun. It's fun listening to this album just because you can hear some of the frustration that goes with someone caring about what they create and what they put out there, and then clearly, obviously, seeing what other people are putting out there, what's getting attention and what isn't. And it's a frustrating thing to deal with. And so the whole concept of the album, the patience, and just kind of, it's almost a great summary of, comparisons being the theft of joy, right? Like, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just work on your own thing. Do it as well as you can. Be patient. Give yourself time to grow. Care for your art. And just do the best that you can. And I really like that. I think it's very difficult to do in this day and age. I mentioned at the end of the reaction about patience. The biggest nemesis to patience is doubt. And how hard that is to deal with. Because sometimes, man, you're doing your thing, and you're doing it well, and it seems like no one really cares. And you know what? Success is never guaranteed. We all know that. And so it's extremely difficult to be patient with yourself and allow yourself to just do your thing. And inevitably, whatever you're doing, especially if it's going to be shared in a public space some way, it's easy to look at what other people are doing and the attention they're getting and go, well, why? Right? That doesn't make any sense. It just is what it is, man. So some people have said that Mick Jenkins, he's kind of cool with content creators and stuff like that. Mick, if you see this, I don't know if you will or not, but I love what you've done here on this album. And I love the fact that you're just focusing on that, focusing on what you're making, creating, making the best version of that you can. That's all you can do. That's all any of us can do, honestly. And the patience is fantastic. It really is fantastic. I stick it right there with Maps. Billy Woods, Maps. It's another great fucking album. And it kind of bums me out because I wonder how much this album, The Patience, is going to kind of slide underneath the radar with other big releases that come out, or, just the fact that he's not the biggest name in the industry or whatever. But at least those of us who have listened to it and do know of it can enjoy it and appreciate it because it's easy to do. It's a fantastic album. And, I guess he doesn't really put out a lot of work, very often. So that's kind of another neat thing, though. Somebody who's trying to be patient and honing their skills, take time. Just take time on the next one. Don't rush it. There's no reason to. No reason to. Do the best version that you can. Okay. There you go. There's my thoughts on The Patience by Mick Jenkins. Fantastic album. Fantastic album.